Welcome back. After hearing from Commissioner Williams, our discussion on education policy continues. We have an all-star roundtable this morning. Kate Alexander from the Austin American-Statesman, Clay Robinson from the Texas State Teachers Association, and our very own Erin Cargile, our local in-house education expert, right?
That's right. That's right.
All right. Well, let's get right down to school finance. You know, we had the trial this week. It was declared unconstitutional, our system here in Texas. Now, after talking with the Lieutenant Governor, he says he's telling lawmakers start thinking about setting money aside or a way to pay for this, maybe the rainy day fund, once they come back, maybe next year in a special session to actually figure out how to restructure this. What do you think?
Well, we won't have any movement on this until probably a year from now after there's a Texas Supreme Court ruling. So they can set a little money away, but when you talk to the lawyers from the school districts, they're saying the money that's available now wouldn't be enough to pay for what they would like to see.
What do you think, Clay?
Well, despite what the leadership at the Capitol says, their money is there now. I mean, a long-term fix, maybe they can wait until they, get another ruling from the Supreme Court a year from now, maybe. But right now, the public schools are hurting. They took $5.4 billion in budget cuts 2 years ago. There is more than enough money in the rainy day fund and the surplus coming forward, about $20 billion with a B, taxpayer money, that can be used to plug the big hole in the public education budget. They should do that right now, and that leaves enough money to take care of other state needs, including the Medicaid hole. There's no point in letting the school kids of Texas who are in overcrowded classrooms wait another year or two for a fix to this problem.
And Erin, that's really the thing. It's another year or two. It's kind of just putting something off to wait what the final decision is.
Well, that's right. A lot of the superintendents that we've talked to, and even principals of some pre-kindergarten campuses, say we cannot wait. We need lawmakers to act now. We were on a pre-K campus just last week, and that's one of the specific areas where they like to see funding restored, to not just fund half-day but go back to funding full-day pre-K. And even Speaker Strauss mentioned there could be some targeted areas that we fund now.
Those are some of the big conversations we've been hearing coming out of the House Appropriations Committee, which just kind of started meeting this past week. We learned who the subcommittees were. We've got 3 Austin area reps that are on that committee, which is kind of something we haven't had in a long time. I mean, probably decades, I think. Now we've got Donna Howard, Donna Dukes, Larry Gonzalez. Donna Howard is actually on the education budget writing portion of that committee, and she was the one that said use money from the rainy day fund, excess from the rainy day fund, to help lessen these education cuts last session. Do you think now that she's in this role it's going to come back into play?
I think that she will certainly push it. We know that the Democrats are already talking about when the supplemental appropriations bill is on the floor very soon, that they are going to look to restore the $5.4 billion in budget cuts. Whether or not that can fly in this Republican-controlled legislature, it seems unlikely.
What do you think it says about the Speaker, allowing that to happen, to have her on that particular part of the committee?
Well, it's encouraging. I think the Speaker does recognize the importance of the public schools. I think he recognizes that they do cost money. Teachers cost money. Classrooms cost money. And how far she is able to, how well Representative Howard is able to function in this with the rest of the committee, it remains to be seen. But I like the idea that she is on that subcommittee.
And is there anything else out of AISD that you're actually hearing about legislatively?
The big thing really is pre-K funding. That's the one thing. Last week, the Austin ISD School Board President, that was the top thing that he told a room full of business leaders here, is just get that money back into pre-K. And of course, AISD has been able to work their budget in a way where they can maintain full-day pre-K. But districts like Georgetown ISD, they had to go scale back to half-day, and they've lost kids. Their enrollment is down by 80 students. So obviously pre-K is the big thing that we're hearing so far.
Still talking about money and the economy, but let's switch gears a little bit. Governor Perry released those radio ads in California this week. A lot of people say he's trying to poach businesses from that state to come to Texas. Let's listen to that radio ad real quick.
and see why our low taxes, sensible regulations, and fair legal system are just the thing to get your business moving to Texas.
Californians are not too happy about that. Even Governor Jerry Brown has fired back with some pretty funny comments, in my opinion. What do you think this means as far as the business opportunities here in Texas?
Well, this is an approach that Governor Perry has long taken. I mean, the whole rivalry between California and Texas has very deep roots. So this is really nothing new from Governor Perry. It's just the folks in California noticed it for the first time.
You have thoughts, Clay?
Well, education is a key to the state's future. It's a key to the employment opportunities, the quality of the workforce. I don't think people in California who are paying attention to Texas are terribly impressed by the budget cuts to public education and by the fact that the governor does not want to restore them. As Aaron mentioned, pre-K took a hit. Some other dropout prevention programs took a hit. The governor may brag about the report that came out from the Education Department a few months ago about Texas being among the leading states in graduation rates, but that was for the 2010-2011 school year, the last year before the budget cuts. We don't know what happened to the graduation rates after that.
Real quick, when we're talking about Governor Perry and the workforce, one of his big priorities in the State of the State was to get more curriculum in high school for career and tech placement. We don't have a lot of time, Aaron, but do you see that this is going to be something that we could actually see happening in the near future?
I think so, and even the education commissioner has been a cheerleader for that. And one of the interesting things that I heard some educators say just this past week is that, if you're going for career tech, that doesn't mean less rigorous, which some people might be thinking if your goal after high school is not a 4-year university, but that certainly doesn't mean less rigor. We've heard an example of welding. You still need top math skills. You still need top science skills to pursue that in the future.
Well, I would like to thank our panel for joining us, and now I would like to invite you to take part in all of our legislative coverage. You can email me at josh.hinkle@kxan.com. We want to hear from you, and you can also find me on Twitter at HinkleJ, and be sure to visit the legislative section of kxan.com. There you'll find our guide to the legislative process in Texas, our list of the major players, and my blog from the Capitol. Thanks for joining us for In Session, In Depth. Have a great morning.